This is the Steve Gruber Show.
And welcome to another big hour here on the program as we light the fuse to set off this hour of freedom, protecting America's future, fighting for you from the foxhole of freedom as we do every single day. Who do you want in your foxhole? May have never been more important than it is now. Here are the three big things you need to know this hour. Number one, a Republican candidate for governor is calling for a march in Dearborn on Tuesday to show that he's not afraid to go anywhere in this country. We'll see what that's about. Number two, cold weather and hot rates. Dana Nessler objects to consumers' latest gas hike. Yeah, she doesn't like it a bit. And number three, a group, and by the way, every one of these stories comes to you from MichiganNewsSource.com. Number three is a group wants to put up photo ID requirements to vote in 2026. I agree with that. I mean an ID for everything. The idea that somehow minorities are somehow infringed and can't get an ID is nonsense. You know it, so do I, so does everybody. You want to drive a car, you need an ID. You want to buy a beer, you need an ID. You want to go into a football game or buy a ticket for the football game, you need an ID. It's not racist, it's not anything, it's common sense. You use your ID for everything to survive these days. So much, in fact, that the government wants to give you digital ID. Well, if that's the case, then you need an ID to vote. Pretty simple stuff. A group is promoting a ballot proposal that would require a photo ID to vote, force the Secretary of State to clean up voter rolls so non-citizens don't slip through the cracks, and embed in the state constitution that only American citizens can cast ballots. Americans for Citizen Voting, gathering signatures now so that it can put its proposal before the voters. Americans for Citizen Voting said it has paid and volunteer help collecting signatures and is halfway to its goal of having the proposal on the ballot in 2026. Halfway there. A proposed amendment to the state constitution needs 446,198 signatures to get on the ballot. Over 80% of the people support the need to use government-issued photo ID to vote, says Senator Ruth Johnson of Holly. She's the former Secretary of State, by the way. She made that statement to Michigan News Source, my news company. Only citizens are eligible to vote in our election we know of. Of a dozen cases last year where non-citizens cast ballots. We need to plug those holes. Citizens, American for Citizens Voting, working on 9 other states to get similar ballot measures put through as well. What do you think? Should citizens be the only ones allowed to vote? I think I know how you feel, but sure, send me an email, stevegruber.com. Send me an email, tell me what you think about that. Okay? It's really important that we talk about this, and we will get this put together. All right, so healthcare, affordability. It's been the theme through the shutdown. It's been the theme for this program for the past many days, and affordability is going to be the crux of the election in 2026 and 2028 and maybe beyond. People like Mamdani won because people feel like they can't afford to pay their bills. They can't afford to get ahead no matter how hard they work. So while Republicans celebrate the caving of 8 Democrat senators to give the government a chance to reopen, which should happen today. That vote is coming in the House later today. It should be voted on to reopen the government. I expect that to happen. But don't celebrate too long, Republicans. Don't celebrate too long, you that call yourselves conservatives. The issues are still there, and you can certainly be blamed like anybody else. If you're in office and prices are not getting better and things remain expensive and houses remain out of reach, you will become the target. The hunter will become the hunted, as they say. Don't kid yourself. Britt Hume summed it up. On health care, here's the idea. You take the money away from the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, and give that money straight to the American people into health savings accounts. That's the plan put forward by President Trump. Republican lawmakers say they'll have a plan ready, a bill ready, legislation ready by December to do that. Britt Hume, here's what he says about it.
If we cannot, as a nation, decide not to continue a subsidy that was imposed or was enacted during a national health emergency and was designed to be temporary, and that all the Democrats voted to have be temporary, if we can't let that expire, what hope do we ever have of getting government spending under control?
None. We have no chance of getting government spending under control which pushes inflation. I'm going to have some Milton Friedman bites for you tomorrow as the professor, Milton Friedman, the late, great Milton Friedman, will share some of his thoughts, brilliant thoughts, about capitalism and inflation and everything else tomorrow on the program. You don't want to miss that. We'll be taking you to class tomorrow. Meanwhile, Kansas Senator Dr. I emphasize that, Roger Marshall says the Republican plan for health care will be here by December. He says it's a good idea and a good conversation. I agree. Listen.
Let's take that $150 billion we're giving insurance companies, give about a third of that back to patients, to consumers, to set up their own health care savings accounts. Beyond that, there's work to be done with roll back the PBMs when it comes to prescription drug prices. Trump RX is going to be something else that'll work. We can expand access to association health care plans, to ministry plans as well. We want to set up high-risk pools, reinsurance pools in every state as well. So there's a lot of things we can do. These are not new concepts. Speaker Johnson and I have been working on this together for years.
So, well, you've been working on it for years, but is there like a comprehensive plan that people could look at and decide whether or not they think it's something that Republicans should pass?
We'll have something within that when we'll have a side-by-side bill when they come out, when they get their vote on Obamacare subsidies, giving more.
You're going to have a health care bill by the second week of December?
We will. We've been working on this very, very hard for several years. And again, Speaker Johnson and I have done one several years ago, but we'll get a new one, getting it together. We're bringing the pieces together just like I discussed. Again, taking $150 billion rather than giving it to big insurance companies. Let's empower patients, make them consumers again.
Make them consumers again. Make the free market work for people. I think that's a very good idea. Very good idea. Now back to the cost of natural gas. Dana Nessel is angry, and she's right about this. Winter's barely settled in. Man, it got cold. It was 18 degrees the other morning here just a couple of days ago. And I'm like, whoa! Coldest weather across North America in something like 35 years. From Minnesota to Mobile, Alabama, and all points in between, setting record low temperatures. Winter barely settled in, and Michigan's heating bills climbing again. Dana Nessel says, consumers' energy, slow your roll. Nessel objecting to consumers' plan to raise natural gas rates again next month, arguing the utility is moving ahead with another increase barely weeks after the last one was approved. Natural gas production is up in this country. Consumers filed its required notice with the Michigan Public Service Commission October the 16th, less than 1 month after regulators signed off on a $157.5 million gas rate increase. Stop it. We cannot keep allowing these utilities to treat these hikes as business as usual while their customers struggle to pay the bills. They must be held accountable as they continue seeking increases, says Dana Nessel. Listen to me, I agree. And I'm going to say it out loud. I agree with Dana Nessel. She's right about this. I'll take a break and be right back.